Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the first day of the month of dog. Yes, you're officially inside the month of dog already right now. No, how exciting you are. Right, Kevin Chan here, 5:30 in the 5:30, 7:30 in the morning. All right. So welcome all of you for watching. Right. So today we're gonna have a bit of a topic to understand this thing called cause and effect. Right. So cause and effect, what actually causes what to happen, right? So a lot of people may be a bit on the confusing side, especially when you are implementing stuff for yourself, right? So you actually doesn't know whether is the thing that you're doing before that is counted, or the thing that you're doing now is counted, or whatever that you're doing in future is counted. We're gonna have a bit of a conceptualization on that, and we're gonna touch a little bit on the topic of merit, karmic, right? So now we'll give you what we call a merit or karmic model for you to think about, right? So for you to think about, right? So then that will help you in understanding a lot of things that you are practicing, understanding a lot of things that you're doing. So whether it lean to which particular direction, right? So good morning first. Pek Pui is around, Sun Shining is around, Manuel. Bonnie is around. Hey, Bonnie, right? So PJ Call, right? So Jocelyn, Kelvin, Kissing is around. How's you guys all doing? Hopefully everybody is doing well, right? So our side, like normal, right? So the people who got captured in the Palestinian Israeli volunteer just landed yesterday, I think. Came back already yesterday or day before that, right? So good for them, right? So and then Malaysia very recently, just very recently, a few days, there was a international travel fair, right? So international tourism fair, right? So and then they were protesting that alcohol was served. Yeah, we do that. Hello Stuart, hello C-Hack, how you guys all doing? Right, so okay, cause and effect, right? So it's a kind of a big topic here, but actually not really too big of a topic. So I will attempt to introduce you into the topic because it's a very vast topic, a lot of things that you can discuss, right? So we're gonna take a look a little bit on that. Come, let us go into the topic and have a little bit of a look at it. So like usual, getting in touch with me, Telegram is a good place for you to do so. Right, so or you can go and join the newsletter, right? So the newsletter, right? So the newsletter coming every single week, we will be publishing the 2026 animal science strategy, right? So if you want to join in, please join in. And there is the community channel. So community channel right now we are doing two specific events. So one is led by Catherine, so which is the 2026 FSA that's going to be happening in January, and we have one gathering on December, right? So which is led by one of our member, which is Richard, right? So yeah, right. So if you want to join any one of the event, do get in touch with us. So that we'll be able to make the necessary arrangement. Okay, come. Now, start off with this one, right? So now I think if you are a parent, you definitely have heard this before. If your kids are short, go play basketball. Is that real, right? Is that real, right? So now when we talk about cause and effect, right? Now think about it. Is it because playing basketball causes the kids to be tall, or because your kid is tall so they are picked to play basketball? Now you start to have the conceptualization of cause and effect. What actually causes what? So the tall of a kid is caused by basketball, or because the tall of the kids that you resulted in basketball? Basketball causes the kid to be tall, or is because the kid is tall, then they end up in basketball? Which one is it? Now see, this is cause and effect. This is called cause and effect. So a lot of people is very, very confused one, right? So especially the parent world, right? So the parent world, right? So the parent is always being told, right? If your kid is, I think you heard of it before, lah. Yeah, I know your kid's a bit short, lah. No, why don't you let him play basketball? They think that playing basketball can cause the kid to grow taller. In actual sense, no. Right? In actual sense, no. There were never short basketball player that play until that they are tall. None. Right? So the basketball usually pick the tallest and the biggest to join the team, right? Yeah, so you're not gonna train the short fella. So like China, right? So China basketball. So China, you guys know that there is a giant called Yao Ming. Yao Ming is like is a giant, right? So it's Yao Ming didn't start playing basketball when he was tiny and scrawny, and then after finish playing basketball, then he become Yao Ming, right? Right? Really normal, right? Right, so now China got a ladies, right? I don't know what's the lady's name because on the social media I saw, she's like huge, and she play basketball, and her job is very easy only, just ram the hell out of the other player. The other player are tiny compared to her, right? So she's like almost 50% bigger than the other player. So every time the ball come to her, right? It's like she just hold the ball and then then you fly like 6 feet, Now you see, is there any way for you to fight this sort of talent? Other than finding bigger player, right? Correct. No? Now, so now when we start with cause and effect, that time you need to be very clear is what actually causes what to happen. Right? It is not the entire thing of, no, I do this will happen. No, you really need to understand the mechanism behind how the things come in. So basketball, right? So come again, tell you basketball. No matter how much basketball you play, you will not get tall. Okay? Only tall player get picked to play basketball. That's normal. Right? So now give you another statistic. So I give you another stats. Just to think, right? So now statistically in professional sport, kids that's born in January, February, March dominate the field. Right? So kids that's born later, right? So basically, doesn't really stand a chance, right? So now does it mean that your kids, which is born in January, February, March, is naturally better at sports? Stats are real stats one. They all already did all the studies on sports, they take a look at it now. Most professional sports players, big majority is born in January, February, and March. So now, would you conclude that, my child is born in January, February, March, then, the fella is better at sports. The fella, fair, better in sport, right? So again, this is not true. Right? So this is basically not true, right? So because the statistic is flawed in a way that they don't understand how the thing happened. Right? So just give you an example of a flawed statistic, which is very famous. If you study statistics, if you go into university, you study statistics, this is almost like the first example that they will give you, which is in World War II. They decide that, they need to reinforce the armor of the aeroplane that, fly out to shoot people. Right? So what they did is that they did a massive statistical study. So every single plane that land, right, they all will mark down where is all the bullet hole. Right? So now very naturally, if you think about it, is that wherever they get shoot the most bullet hole, we add armor onto it. Right? So but in the end, the result of the entire study is, right, so this is where statistics come in, is that they put the armor plating on place whereby it was never hit by bullets. It will be very funny, right? You're going to tell people that, oh no, this place no bullet holes one, right? So in the end, it is actually the cockpit and the fuselage. This is the two places whereby there is almost no bullet hole at all, right? So now the conclusion of it, what happened is that the aeroplane that managed to fly back, right, no matter how many bullet hole it is, right, the fellow managed to fly back, right? It is those that did not fly back. Those are the ones that require to be protected, right? Not the one that fly back. The one fly back, no problem, you see. Right, so it's those aeroplanes. So when they see that, those aeroplanes that did not get shot on the cockpit and also the fuselage, chances of them flying back is very high. So what happened is that they added armor onto the cockpit and also the fuselage. A very logical way of thinking, right? So now a lot of people don't have this sort of logical sense. So if you just study statistics, you get the answer wrong. Right? A lot of people will pick like, this place is the most bullet hole one, so I put armor there, right? So that you survive longer. Now same thing is this. Now what happened with the spotting is like this. Right? So this actually has to do with resource allocation. Right? So when they pick kids for sport, they usually pick it very young. So which is during primary school, they already start to pick the kids. So now you take a look at primary school. A primary school student that's born in January versus born in December, do you think physically there are really very big differences? And please just remember when they pick, let's say that Form 1 student, Form 2, so year 1, year 2 student, right? They don't care whether you're born in January or December, you're called year 1. And there is a despairingly very big difference physically during that particular young age with the January fella and also the December fella. Just imagine the January fella already have 12 months to grow up, only the December fella come into the world. So you ask the January fella to fight with the December fella, right? The January fella sure wipe the floor out of you. So if you're gonna pick a sportsman, right, definitely you will see that the January person at such a young age, January, February, March person would have bigger potential. So because they got bigger potential, they get allocated more opportunity, more resources. Whereas the November, December fella, is left in a despairing, unable to. They are already physically unable to compete already. Now with no resources coming in some more, no support, no cheering or coming. You can see that, these people which is born at the end of the year basically stand no chance in the sporting arena from small. It doesn't mean that they cannot do sport. It's just that, because of this, right? So by way of, you want to call natural selection or unnatural selection. So if you grow up in such a way, so the January, February, March is getting, more resources, more training, more resources, more training, more resources, more training, right? So tell me, when you reach the age whereby, you participate in professional sport, right? Who do you think will do better? So that's why statistically you see that, January, February, March, right? So would generally fare better in professional sport. It's because all this while they are given better support, they are given better resources. That's all. Yeah. So which means that if you give the same amount of resource and support to the later year run, right? So they would also actually develop, because age gap after a certain number of age already, it doesn't make any difference. So again, also you think about it. If you ask a 10 years old fella to fight a 7 years old fella, right, 3 years gap, right? So 3 years gap, you will see that the 10-year-old fella definitely will win. But what if you ask a 20 to fight a 17? Not much of a gap already, right? So if you ask a 30 years old to fight a 27 years old, almost cannot see anything already, right? So if you ask a 40 years old to fight a 37 years old, absolutely no difference already. Can you see that the age gap become irrelevant as you grow older? Right, so again, this is another one of steps. So what causes what? Is it because your kids was born in January, February, March that you become a good sportsman, or is it because the resources that is given to the kids that causes them to be a better sportsman? Right, so is it these are cause and effect? This is causes and effect, right? So is it that I just throw and also a kid's born in January without anything, without any training or whatever, I just throw it into professional sport, the fellow will fare better. Start to understand, right? So this two scenario is just to work your brain out so that you're in the correct frame of it. You start to right now understand that what you see or what commonly understand by people when they apply it bluntly, it doesn't work. Why does it doesn't work? Is because they got the cause and effect wrong. Understand? So in Feng Shui, there's a lot of this sort of stuff that's happening, right? Especially the school of putting things around. Right? The school of putting things around actually just a lot of time they reverse the entire thing, right? So they basically reverse the entire stuff. Right? So come, let's take a look at that, right? So now this is one of the famous one, right? So tell me, does painting the place red color causes fire energy? Think about it, right? Think about this entire thing, right? So a lot of people like to play with color. No, this one, I wear a red color shirt, right? So does the red color shirt give you the fire energy, or is it the fire energy that causes the manifestation of what you call red color? Which one is it? Right? Is it because of the fire energy that causes the manifestation of red color, or is it because red color causes the fire energy to exist? Think about it, right? So think about it, right? So that's why when you take a look at cause and effect. So that's why a lot of stuff doesn't work in Feng Shui when you apply it. It's because they got the cause and effect in exact reverse. A lot of people think that painting the wall red color will give you fire energy. It doesn't. It doesn't. The color itself does not emit any sort of energy at all, right? It doesn't really work that way, right? So that's why a lot of the Feng Shui application become nullified. It doesn't work. One, wear red color, it doesn't work at all, because that's not how the causation is, right? So that's not how the causation. I'll give you an example so that you can understand the causation itself, right? So this is basically from the Chinese medicine. Right, so TCM, right? So TCM very, you can say it's a very funny art. very tough art to learn, right? So very tough art to learn, not very easy to learn, right? So because you know your causation effect need to be very good, right? So later I give you some example. Now let's take a look at this. Okay, so both coffee and tea give you caffeine. This one scientifically everybody know. Coffee give caffeine, tea give caffeine. So what's the difference? What's the difference between the coffee caffeine versus the tea caffeine? Right. So today we're gonna have 5 elements. Okay. Right. So now, what's the color of a coffee bean? Don't tell me black color, please. Telling me black color is like city kids see chicken. You ask them that how does chicken look like? They look like drumstick. So city kids has never seen cow, never seen goat, never seen chicken before. So if you bring them to the farmland, right? So you bring them to farmland when the first time see chicken, right? They actually doesn't know that the chicken drumstick that they eat, is, sometimes they think that chicken come with 6 drumsticks because when you buy the time the drumstick come in 6 pack. Okay. So if you think the ripe fruit of a coffee is red color. Now straight away tell you coffee is fire energy. Now this is correct. It's not because red color is fire energy. It's because the growth of the coffee, right? So the growth of the coffee causes the manifestation of the red color of the fruits. So that's why if you see that the fruits is red color is usually summer fruits, right? Usually summer fruits you will see red color, right? So then you know that coffee right now is fire energy. Right, so now you take a look at tea. Tea is what? Tea is green color, right? So the manifestation of tea is basically green color. So you know that tea is basically a spring type of plant, right? So it's basically flourish in spring type of plant. So it's wood energy. So now you imagine wood energy caffeine versus fire energy caffeine. Is there going to be a difference or not? Now this is how you're gonna do a bit of a thinking. Right? So because you need this sort of level of thinking to understand. So fire energy caffeine, what does it do? Right. So now what does it do is that it will trigger your heart. Fire is heart. You know one, right? It will trigger your heart. Right? So what happens when you drink coffee as a source of caffeine? It causes your heart to pump faster. You know that, No, caffeine is supposed to make you wake up, right? It make you fresh when you wake up. The reason why you are fresh and wake up is because the enormous amount of blood that is being pumped by your heart, because your heart right now is being triggered by the fire energy. You ingest fire energy, you put fire energy inside, the heart go da 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 da. Very exciting. It's not very healthy, by the way. Always wonder why Qi recognize what color, shape related which element. Yeah. Right. So now you have this, right? So now what about tea? Tea is green color. Green color represent your liver. You know that one, right? Represent liver, right? So you know that, right? So now what does the liver do? Liver basically cleanse your blood. You guys know that one, right? Liver cleanse your blood. So the freshness that you get from drinking a tea is because your system is clean. Whereas the freshness that you get from coffee is because your heart is pumping hard. Now, which caffeine is better? Right? Make sense? So this is Chinese medicine's magic. Now, a lot of times Chinese medicine need to understand this, then only they know how to give you the qi, right? So like they need to understand that the herb that getting given to you is incepted by what qi. So incepted by what qi, the easy one is which season, right? So if this is a fruits or this is a herbs that's basically flourish in the spring season, so this is wood qi lah. So if you need wood qi, they will need to go and locate herbs and also fruits or whatever it is that's basically flourish in the spring season. So if they need fire qi, then they will go and look for things that flourish in the summer season. So herbs and also fruits, especially in summer season. So they need metal qi, then they need to go and find herbs and also fruits that basically flourish in the autumn, and you have the winter season. You need water qi, then they need to come and have fruits. Got fruits that flourish in winter season. Got tin san sweet lin. Right, Tinshan Sweetlin is basically a high mountain snow lotus. Yeah, they grow in high altitude cold places, right? So no wonder people drink yuan yang. No wonder people. So tell you first, when both coffee and also tea, when they are being processed, 炒, you know, both the coffee and also the tea go through the same process of barbecue. Roasting. Okay, right? So roasting isn't the difference in a reaction. 1 cup of coffee, 200 mg is 40 milligram of caffeine. About the same. Coffee actually give you more caffeine. Coffee give you more caffeine than tea, right? So back to this one, roasted. So both tea and also coffee are roasted. So after roasting already, what's the color? The roasting process causes the manifestation of black color. Right? Black belong to water. Right? So black belongs to. So actually, when you are drinking this coffee and also tea, the black version, it is actually taxing, it's actually triggering your kidney. It's triggering your kidney, it's actually stressing your kidney. Right? So in Chinese medicine, it's in the art of mountain, kidney is where your primordial energy is. Primordial energy. It's where your primordial energy is. 你的元气, right? So you 你的元气, so the qi that your mother give, the qi that basically your mother give. So different kind of pepper are different element. You need to take a look at the original pepper before it's being cooked. So pepper also is something that's actually being cooked. You know, your black pepper, your white pepper, basically just different cooking method. Right? So different being cooking method. So it's actually stress out your kidney. So now take a look at fire transformed to water, which is your what we call your coffee, and versus tea, which is wood transfer to water. So what we call the reaction, right? So now water produces wood, whereas water counter fire. So can you see that the coffee actually has a more extreme effect than tea? So if you're drinking green tea, is good law, because wood to wood, my green tea. Green tea is just drying process. They did not roast the tea, right? So just join a coffee, consider fire element. I just joined is coffee considered fire element. After this being roasted already, it's actually water element. The black color after it's being roasted. So all coffee after being roasted is black color one. Tea depend you know. Tea actually have different color. You really tea, you got white tea, you got green tea, you got black tea. I think 5 color also got like tea, right? So confirm got white tea confirm, right? So got your green tea, so you know your matcha, matcha Japan called matcha. For us, you know, we just call green tea, all right? So sencha, right? Sencha. Then there is the black color one, which is sucha, you know? So it's right? So got different, right? So different, their product is gonna be different, but the original tea is wood. The original cheese, basically wood. The original cheese. So this one is for you, after we go. Right. Which beverage is fire? We're going to rate. Go and look at red beverage. Watermelon, dear John. Watermelon. Watermelon fire one? Yes, watermelon is actually fire. You don't know, you don't think watermelon water ma? It's called watermelon, must be water. No, watermelon is fire. Yeah, watermelon is fire. Okay. Right. So that's why now after you eat watermelon, right? You can actually eat the watermelon peel, the white color portion. The white color portion. Okay, right? So you eat together with the white color portion, you know, the lower part, you go bite at it. Skin also is good. Right? So there are actually people who take the Japan actually take the watermelon peel and do dishes with it one. Awesome. Right, so but anyway, right? So this one is to establish you cause and effect. Now you start to understand that, you know, it's not the red color that causes the fire effect, is that because of the manifestation or the fire thing, the result is red color. So because of this, right? So because of this, you know, if you want to find fire related cheating, they usually would target red color stuff. So you want to find wood related cheating, then you target green color. Right? So it's, you know, this type of, you know, effect that is basically happening. Right? So then what happened here is that then the wrong thing come on, then they think that, you know, oh, if I put red, then, you know, I get fire. No, the fire energy causes the red to manifest. Putting red color does not result in fire energy. You need to know this is cause and effect. 你明白吗? This is basically cause and effect. Drinking a wood element tea, for instance, is in a metal glass is class. No. Bonnie, it doesn't go. Right? It doesn't go that particular. Red wine. In a way, yes, red wine. You know, red wine fire element in a way, yes. Right, so in a way, yes. Now white wine. So red wine, white wine also, you know, you need to be a bit careful because the red color doesn't really come from the skin. Right. The red hue that you see actually come from the oak cast. And they actually which means that after the wine is being pressed out, it doesn't come out red color. It all come out as, you know, grape juice, which is white color. Then what happened is that, you know, they uses this oak cast that has already been burned. Yeah, oak cast has already been burned, and then they put the wine inside, then it turns red. Makes sense to you, right? Red wine. So white wine, they don't use the burnt oak cast, they use clean oak cast. So that's the only difference. Okay, right? So no, just know this first, right? So you need to know the cause and effect so that you don't get the entire thing wrong, right? So don't get the entire thing wrong. So then only you go in and try to understand this, right? So now I call merit is just a term that, you know, I picked up. That's it. Right? So different places you go, they have their own term. Like for example, the Buddhists, right? So the Buddhists, merit is basically mainly used by Taoism people, right? So the Buddhists will call this a yin guo. Yin guo is karma, the one that you think, right? Karma, right? So karmic effect, right? So karmic effect, you know, is positive and negative. Now yin guo is actually cause and effect. Direct translation of yin guo. Yin is because, guo is the effect, right? Because this happened. Yin is whatever is the reason is yin, guo is the result. So it's the reason versus the result. That's yin, guo. So in the Buddhism world, it's basically called that, right? So in the Confucius world, you call pious law. Shit, forgot the Chinese word already. 孝顺, right? So 孝顺, right? So, you know, it's basically what they call. Right, so it's called pious, right? So it's called 孝顺, right? So then in the Taoism, what we call merit, you know, merit is called 功德, right? So merit is basically called 功德. Cocoa chocolate is white color, by the way. Right? So have you ever seen cocoa white color? That's why your chocolate is actually white color. Then they put coloring, or, you know, again, is go through the roasting process to get the black and the normal chocolate. Normal chocolate is actually white color. Okay. White color chocolate not so appealing. Long time ago, they know already white color chocolate doesn't look appealing. You know, brown color chocolate look better, appealing eating, right? Whatever. Now back to this one, right? So 功德. So 功德 got two components. The yin de component, which is the yin merit, and also the yang merit. So yin merit is things that you do people don't know. Yang merit is things that you do, you know, you advertise to people, and they call yang merit. So yin and yang merit add up together equivalent to 功德. Yin de, yang de 加起来就变功德. Right, so this is basically now. So again, now if you go across different religion or different culture, also it's the same. You know, the Christian world, you got things called grace, same thing. The Malay world, we got this thing called pahala, same stuff. Sorry, Indian world, not very well versed with Indian wording, so sorry lah, cannot tell you. But anyway, any system also have. So what happened? What determine whether a merit is valid or not valid is not how you determine it. There are normal people think that, no, I do good thing, good merit. It doesn't go that way. It doesn't go that particular direction, right? So because certain things need to happen, certain things need to happen. There's no such thing as good and bad, right? There's no such thing as good and bad, right? So the component that you need to consider when you talk about whether the things that you're doing is considered a positive side merit, or is it the, you know, not so positive side of marriage, right? So there's three things. No, one, you need to consider the intent. What is the intent of doing this thing? Now, a lot of the mistake that a lot of people do in terms of intent is that their intent are not congruent. They think of doing this, but they actually want to do this. And this is when your intent is not congruent, right? Your entire marriage is already gone. Don't consider, right? So then method very simple, you know, what way that you choose to do the thing. That's basically method. So this one is a very scientific side of stuff, you know, very scientific side. Intent is very philosophical. The intent is a very philosophical thing. The method is the very scientific things, and then the effect, right? So now the effect right now, right? So we talk about, so which means that, you know, I want to do this thing, you know, I'm going to choose this particular method to do it, and I want this thing to happen, right? So I want this thing to basically happen, right? So that's basically the effect. All these three need to come together in the correct manner, then only you can decide whether the marriage. So Qi is using yin de, no, Qi using all the, right? So you can saw yin guo also can, you can saw, you know, you can say that, you know, this is your filial also can, you know. So again, wording wise, you know, don't care. It's just that I personally use married as the locking thing. Right, so, you know, for you to decide whether, you know, this is a good marriage or not a good marriage. So the effect is basically what happened. Now, the effect, the important thing about the effect is that the effect should not be dictated by you. So you want to do something is that now somebody said the intent need to be pure. No, it's just in a way again. So now the argument part is what is pure. What you think is pure is not exactly pure one. Right, so that is the, you know, what we call the dangerous part. So the intent need to be congruent. What you think of doing and what that you're doing, you know, need to be basically in line, aligned, congruent. That's the criteria. Method a bit more loose, right? So I would say a bit more loose, but you understand that there's some method which is generally, you know, is good. Some method generally, you know, is not good one. Right, so like for example, there are two people who's fighting, right? So there's two people fighting, so now depend on intent first. There are two people fighting right now. Intent is you're gonna stop the fight. That's one type of intent. Another type of intent is I want one of the person to win. Now see, two very different intent, but the thing that, you know, you are trying to do right now is the same. Now whether one side win, the fight is gonna stop, or, you know, your intent is just to stop the fight, you know, where, you know, I don't need any side to win. So you can see I right now got two intent already. Or, you know, you just wanna stop the fight because there's a camera and you are doing content. Now that different intent again. Now can you see that the same scenario that is seemingly very innocent, many people may have many different intent. Right, they try to engage. Now method, so I'm just trying to give you method, right? To stop this particular fight. Two methods only I give you choice. One is to take a knife and stab one of the fella. Kill one of them, that's called method. Or, you know, you can go in and pull them apart. Now see, these are two very distinct separate methods that would achieve the same result of stopping the fight. Agree? Correct, no? Stabbing one fella, fight straight away stop. Right, so if you separate two of them, fight also may stop. Right, can you start to see a method choices? Right, so there's also third method, you can throw a chair at them. Now there's many methods that you can do to implement. Right, then the effect, you throw a chair, they might stop, they might not stop. Your intent is to stop the fight. You see, your intent is to stop the fight. You can either go and stab them, you can either pull them apart, you can throw a chair at them, right? So but either one that you pick, right, may not result in the correct effect. Correct, no? Right, so, you know, put it in, right? So the effect is on its own, but of course you can dictate the effect, you know, with enough power, right? So like, you know, if you're police, you know, you take out your gun, right? So then you can confirm dictating effect. This is just one example for you, right? So this one, so I'm going to give you more heavier example, right? So, you know, now last time I gave you a very mild example of a part-time deity, right? Part-time deity, you know, just give you a quick one, right? So deity need to go and do something. There's somebody come over to the temple, you know, say that, oh, know how great it is if I can become deity. So the deity said, hey, come lah, you become part-time deity, right? So you only got one job, only, just keep your mouth shut. Just keep your mouth shut. Right, so, you know, the deity come in, become a deity, you know, somebody came in, dropped the wallet, another guy came in, needed doctor, the wallet. give it, you know, then the fella come in again, trying to ask for good weather, right? So gonna ask for good weather, and you actually know the entire thing what is happening, right? So you know the entire thing that the businessman dropped the wallet. It was picked up by the fella who need money to save the mother, and you know, and then there is the things who basically come, and the businessman actually blame the fella, the fisherman who actually come and ask for taking the wallet, because he was the only guy there at the moment. But you know that it was taken by the sick fella, right? So if you shut your mouth, then you know the businessman, you know, would have done something good, right? So would have done something in that is called yam tak. You do something that is not actually intentional, right? So, and you actually probably doesn't know, you don't need people to know, to rescue the fella that is sick, accidentally rescue the fella mother that is sick, right? So that, you know, the businessman would have received amount of coming, right? So, and then, you know, because the businessman right now is interfering with the fisherman to going out to the sea, or else, you know, the fisherman go out to sea, the first fisherman would die. So the businessman would have also inevitably accidentally helped the what we call the fisherman from death, right? So he would have also earned the merit. But because you open your mouth, you destroy this entire ecosystem. You open your mouth and tell them, no lah, yo, the fella, you think that you are doing good, you think that you're doing good, you're actually helping the poor fisherman who's being blamed, and you tell, and then the businessman actually go and take back the money, and the fella couldn't save this, and this fella, you know, went out to the sea, and this guy died. Can you see or not? Because you open your great mouth, right? So that is the mild, very mild example. So I'm going to give you a very heavy example. So again, I give you an extreme example, you know, you please don't go and jump around, you know, it's like, it's very normal. I like to give extreme example. So in merging, because you need to know merit karmic thing, yeah, merge with the topic that we are talking about, you know, the 6th level of reincarnation. The 6th level of reincarnation, right? So again, summary for you. 6th level reincarnation means that, you know, a person basically go through reincarnation many different times. Every single time you have mission and lesson that you need to do, right? So, but of course, you know, during this thing, you would have do something good, something bad. So there is an account that basically accumulate your good deed versus your bad deed, which is your merit, right? So we merit, right? So now this account need to be clear one. This account be clear. So the cosmic account, the cosmic accountant, the cosmic ledger guy, right? So which is the guy that's in charge of this entire thing. He will do all the calculation, and you know, he need to balance out all the merit and demerit that basically happening, right? So now just imagine there is this mother, right? So during one of his reincarnation, you know, she did something bad. Let's say that, you know, she causes somebody to have extreme pain, no good stuff lah, right? So no demerit. So this particular round, she's supposed to repay for this particular demerit point, right? So through suffering of major losses. So the punishment, right? So, or the repent or the jail term that was determined to counteract that one, right? So was a major loss. So what sort of major loss is for mother? So again, I'm gonna feel very sad. Oh, cannot be, you know, this example no good. That's whatever it is, you know. Again, I given you the soft version, I give you the hard version right now. Okay, right? So she's gonna lose a child. There's no other pain, suffering more than a mother losing a child. I tell you, please. Okay, no other. But she's have to go through this particular process. Right, so and then, you know, she's gonna lose a child, so there's gonna be a 6-year-old child, you know, who's gonna bye, right? Flick, you know, child to this mother. So what did this child do? Same thing, you know, doing one of the reincarnation. He did something that is, you know, not really that bad, but still bad, you know. So maybe let's say like he kicked a puppy dog into the drain during the flooding, you know. And the drain was a lot of water gushing, you know, one of those big storm drain. You know, Malaysia got a lot of open storm drain. We got a lot of open one, somehow the storm drain is open. So when raining that time, the storm drain, you know, the fella kick a little dog into the storm drain. Bad thing. Alright. So as a punishment, you know, the fella will suffer enormous pain. Okay? That's what so the mother will suffer enormous loss. This one will suffer enormous pain as a counteraction of paying back. So lesson learned for this fella. So the fella will die. right? The 6-year-old kids. How the 6-year-old kids died, you know, you're going to be third person inside this particular thing, you know. So this fella will suffer enormous regret. Loss, pain, regret as payment to their last time deed, you know. So don't care what this third fella did wrong, never mind. So it's just certain things, right? So the fella will drive the car, you know, reverse the car and bang onto the kids. So this is going to be the scenario. Reverse car, bang kid, kids die, mom lost. Sad, isn't it? Damn you, Kevin. Always give this a sad scenario. So give a sad scenario. But all these things happen is to reset something that they have done. Make sense, repair, right? So which means that, you know, this particular mother is going to feel, you know, oh, ma, you know, big loss, right? So big loss. So next time when she go back to the ready room, so when her life end, go back to the ready room that time, right? So ready room. So there will be a review session for everybody. Right? So they will tell you that, no, last time you did this, you see, now, so right now you suffer this, you know, now you know what is the feeling of, you know, this particular person. So you repent, no? Oh, I understand already. Kids also the same, you know, you kid this one thing in and then, you know, you ended already, you know, so go back the ready room, explain to you what basically happened. You go, oh yes, it was so painful when I was crushed. Right? Makes sense, right? So this fellow also, you know, enormous regret, you know, reverse the car, you know, regret. So now tell me, you as a person, human, so since you're on Qimeng, you open Qimeng chat. For some reason, I don't know why, you open Qimeng chat and you see this scenario happening. Right? You kepo, you think that, you know, I'm doing good. I want to save life. Now, a lot of people think saving life is good one. Correct or not? Many people think, you know, saving a life, you know, especially, you know, when you are in the, I think it's Buddhism, I don't know how to translate to English to you. Because 七級浮屠 is what I haven't go and research yet. Maybe after researching I come back and tell you. But anyway, right? So now a lot of people think that saving life is, you know, must be great merit. So now tell me, if you go and save the life, right? So which means if you prevent the person from backing the car into crushing the kids don't die, the mom don't suffer the loss, you know, all this this scenario never happened. Okay, do you think you have did good or not first? That's the first thinking pattern. Do you think that you did good? No, a lot of people think that, you know, saving life is good. Not necessary. Just not necessary. Because, you know, when you interfere with certain things that's happening, right? Question to you right now, the karmic debt, the demerit point that was caused by this tree fella, who's paying for it? Who's paying for it? This debt, who's gonna carry the bill? Now, this is the part that you need to be very careful. You interfere with it, you carry the debt. You're the one who stepped the foot inside, right? You carry the debt. You think that you have helped this tree fella, right? But in actual sense, you actually just screw up the entire plan. Right? Universe got a plan for the three of them to pay back their own debt. You come and put your foot down. God, like that one, man. God, real life example for you. Real life example for you, right? So you're visiting your brother. Doesn't matter whether it's your brother or relative, right? Because actually this is a normal example I give people. You see a bunch of thugs, licensed money lender lah, it's outside your brother's house, your cousin's house. You know the normal thing lah, you know, pour paint, you know, petrol bomb, painting the wall. Very normal stuff you see, right? So you see, you know, your brother or your wherever relative is in trouble, right? So it's very small financial trouble. So you go in, you see that, hey, what are you guys doing? Very normal one. This one very normal, right? So you see, you know, people in trouble, you know, you noble, you know, so you try to stop whatever is happening. You've seen this before, you know, it's you know, so trying to come and, you know, you know, and then after a bit of a discussion, then you found out that, you know, there was a bit of a money borrowed, money taken, didn't pay back. You know, wasn't a big amount. Right? So let's say 10,000. Somebody thought 10,000 is a very big amount. Okay, 10,000 not really a big amount. So you go there and then you go like this. Limpe pay this particular debt. Limpe is me, by the way. It's Hokkien. Right? So if you've seen Hokkien, you know, they like to limpe. Limpe mean me. Me in a very grand way. This make giving consultancy scary. Don't worry about it, John. Later I'll give you a model to run this, right? So I always give solution one, don't worry. Okay, right? So back to the Pam, I will pay this, right? So now tell me, did you help your brother or not? In a way you think, Jay, I help my cousin, I help my brother. Yes or no? Do you think the fellow will stop causing trouble? Question for you first. Did you think that the thugs that come to the house is actually a lesson for the recipient querent? It's not a lesson to you. Got nothing to do with you, right? You can just walk off. It's not your lesson. But right now you choose to interfere. You choose to interfere, Lim Pei Pei. You choose to interfere. So now what happened is that your brother or cousin who have never learned the lesson, what do you think they'll do? They will repeat the same mistake. They borrowed the money once, do you think that they will stop? No. This time the fellow will even borrow more because why? Got you Lim Pei to pay. Now the thugs don't go to his house already. The thugs come to your house, threaten your family. You said you will pay. Right? Who do you think they will come after? Now this is called, so again, but this one not only this. Banks does the same, this is called guarantor. Right? You kepo the fellow borrow money, right, from the bank, you go and put your name as guarantor. Now, the fellow didn't pay, right? The bank come after who? Come after you. The bank blacklists you. Happy, isn't it? Now, can you see cause and effect? You do all this thing, please. Right? So that's why, you cannot use your version of truth. You cannot use your version of right. You cannot use your version of correct in judging the situation. That's why there are no absolute. Saving life may not be the good things. Helping people may not be the good thing. Start to understand, start to get scary, right? Right, start to get scary, right? So now move back to the Chinese metaphysics. So when you go Chinese metaphysics, your intent of helping the other fellow, what is your actual intent first? There's two intent. One is actually really just trying to help the fellow. Number two is actually trying to earn money. Now, a lot of people do Chinese metaphysics is because they want to earn money, but they tell people that they want to help people. Now, this is already misaligned intent. Intention is misaligned already. Help mean help, earn money mean earn money. Nothing wrong. Just tell you first, earn money is not wrong. Helping people is not wrong. But when you say that I want to help people, but actually you want to earn money, this is where it's wrong. Or you earn money that you are not helping people. It's wrong. Understand or not? You can earn money, right? So which means that if your intent is to earn money, then please be clear that you're there to earn money. And the method that I'm using, need to be very clear, right? The method that I'm using, whether it's 八字, whether it's 气门, whether it's 八字, whether it's 气门, whether 风水, whether blend everything, whether you're using tarot card, whether you are using purple star astrology, right? So purple star Yi Jing or whatever it is, right? So you're using NLP, you're using MBTI, don't care. Those are called method, right? Those are called method. Method need to be clear only. That's it, right? So method need to be clear. Right, so and again, please do not force an effect. Too many people force effect. Now, force effect means that my intention is to sell you stuff. I want you to buy that stuff. So whatever I do, whatever method I do, is to lead to you buying that stuff. That is called forcing an effect. You're not letting nature take its course. Right? It's not nature taking its course. Right? So now to answer the ultimate question of does this giving advice messing around, right? So now here's the magical part of it, right? The people that you're supposed to consult, they'll come to you. So you don't go do and think, right? The fellow does not need your consult, you go and force a consult. But a very good one, yeah, you must do this. I've seen too many of this sort of stuff. You must go and do Qimen for this fella, must do Qimen for this fella. The fella doesn't need Qimen. Right? I've seen too many people too over enthusiastic with any single method that they have learned. Right? Must parts everything, must feng shui everything. Feng shui is the only thing must go. You've seen before, right? So if you have not, please go and talk to some, again, please don't kill me. Christian evangelists, go and talk to them. Every single sentence, have you found God yet? Don't do that, right? So tell you, people who you are supposed to consult, they actually come to you. When they come to you, mean that you are part of the overall ecosystem. Right? You are supposed to be a person that's participating in this particular system and to open up this particular person. So that's why they come to you. But when you go and chase them, it's a different question. So don't go chase them. That's all. Like that. But sales is not like that. Sales is a very modern thingy to earn money thingy. Got nothing to do with this older system that's floating. Understand? No? See, if you're meant to be in the script, you will always be in the script. If you're not meant in the script, not meant in the script. So that's why don't kepo what I say. But what about if they ask for help? Yeah, if they ask for help, it's fine. Right? So but again, you don't force the effect. Right? So it's here start with your intent first, right? Your intent is actually to help the other person. So if your intent is to earn money, then please, before you render the help, you tell them that you have to pay me lah. That's all only. Taking money from people is not evil. Hey, hello, you got bill to pay one. You got bill to pay, and then you did spend some money in studying this particular thing, right? Yeah. That need to be financed and paid. Hello. Come on. Right? Can see, but the intent need to be clear. Right? If you really just want to help this particular, just help the person. Right? Don't have, 2, 3, 5 condition, 6 way of doing. Don't have that. So the fellow come and ask you for help. Yeah, really just help. Okay? No problem. Right? And then you don't force the effect. Force the effect means that you give advice already. The fellow don't implement is his problem. Don't need to go and chase. I got people who every day go and chase, how the fellow how you hate me. Understand or not? No need to how you hate one. Right, so now just give you some example. Now this one just now talk about it already. Somebody giving you a preview. This one you've seen in the market, right? Right? There's like many, so quote some name, like Success Resource. They're gonna come and whack me afterwards. Most famous one is Success Resource, Anthony Robbins, the one that does Anthony Robbins. Anthony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, a lot of this big name is basically managed and done by Success Resource. So they are the big guy in event, right? So in doing event, right? So always got this free event, come on, you see, the intent is actually to earn money from you, but they all put it up in a way that we are here to give you a free preview, come and take a look at it. Now can you see that the intent is basically like this already? If you want to sell people something, sell that's all only. Now, nothing wrong with selling people stuff, no against stuff. It's just that the method that's being used. Now you can see that the intent basically is not aligned. I'm just asking you, if you do anything, please align your intent. There's no nobility in, is that, do this thing must be free. There's no such thing. Doing things for free doesn't earn you, more merit than doing things for pay. Right? But must hype people up. The funny thing is that everybody who entered the room actually knows what is happening. But yet, they go like, they're here to sell this thing. Hey, hello. They free rent a place. You think they don't need to pay rent for the place one. And then, they give you coffee, snacks. You think that they don't need to pay for the coffee and snack. You come over here, free aircon, free seat, free... And you are saying that, people sell you stuff. No, crazy, is it you? Brain got problem. Your intent also, this is also your intent also got problem. You think intent that, you're going to give me a full 3-day class full of content for free. Hello. Crazy, right? There's an ethics when deal with metaphysics and other services. And now again, the word ethic, I would say again, is a bit of an imposed stuff. People impose into it, right? So people impose this word ethic into it when they don't know this. So model says that your intention need to be congruent. That's all only, right? So you just make your intention congruent. If you want to do this, now again, extreme example, please do not kill me, right? So I don't know whether, you know, YouTube will yellow flag me or not, right? So if you go and see a girl, if your intent is you want to have sex with her, tell her lah. Understand, no? I think this example very easy, no? You did not go and date the girl because, you know, you want to date the girl. Right, so let's face it. You really want to go and, you know, have coffee with the girl because you want to have coffee with the girl. Very rare. Right? Eventually, you know, you're going to that particular direction. Let's not pretend about it. That is basically what intent is. You know, the intent is not to pretend about the situation, you know, trying to point you over there, then I attack here, no, not those kind of things. Right? So in war, you know, intent is very easy, you know. So do you know that in war, actually, before they send the army, they will actually send the letter and tell you that, you know, we're going to declare war to you. Do you know that they do that? They don't go and sneaky attack you, yeah, really. They will send a messenger and send the war that tells you that he ho ha, we are the mighty army of da da da, you know, we are gonna raid your place, and then, you know, you are given how many days to surrender. There's a war declaration that they do. Right? So this is clear intent. Now whether, you know, so again, war, no, nothing wrong with it. The intent of the war very, very clear. Right? So this is just one example of intent. So I'm covering intent this particular part because a lot of people, the intent is very, very wrong, right? So let's see another example, right? Another example. So what you think is the intent of going to temples and pray? Because you want to go to temple and pray, or because you are expecting something else when you go to pray? You go to pray because you want to pray, or because you pray because you want something else? Cause and effect. Cause and effect. So most people go to temple because they want, their expectation, their intent is they want to take something out. They don't want to give anything. Charity also is the same. No, a lot of people, why do you think they do charity? Because they want to do charity. It's because they think that doing charity will give them merit. 做善事積陰德. People are scared about dying. No lah, people are actually scared about living more than dying. Right, now I tell you, if you are confirmed gonna die already, I tell you that's your most peaceful moment. Truth to tell you. A person confirmed gonna die already, don't have any worry. Your worry is you don't know whether you're gonna die or don't. Sad part. Right? So again, same stuff again, a bit sad, right? So again, recently, you know, just somebody's pass away lah. Somebody just passed away, right? So somebody just passed away. You know, say that, you know, so if there was possibility of, you know, extending this particular person's life, right? So now being the normal, very logical, you know, part of me, you know, I straight away tell the fella, you want the fella go back to a lonely life, lack of mobility, no money. Is that your intention? So you extend a person's suffering. Now you think that, you know, oh no, if this fella, you know, is there some way to, you know, save him, you know? So it's like, is there? You think save him, right? So save him from what? Save him from a life of loneliness, right? Immobility, right? So again, you know, so sorry to say, I've seen too many clients, you know, whereby, you know, they get very old parent, 90 years old parent, you know, dementia already. Dementia, cannot think already, you know, crazy, bedridden, is basically suffering. Right? So it's basically suffering. I look at the parts, I look at how feng shui, I straight away can tell you, right? Almost time to go already. I tell one, now I tell the person, right? So now what the person want to do is their problem. They got anything unsettled, you know, they have to go and settle, right? So now here's the thing. Do you still want to extend this particular person's life? It's not me cruel, I'm just being logical to you. Bedridden, dementia. Require many people to, you know, take a look at, you know, the fella. You want the fella to be extended. For what? So if you extend the fella life, are you doing him a favor or are you doing him a cruelty? Think about it. Right? Think about it. Right? So that's why I say that, you know, it's not everybody for you to save. don't think of, you know, saving life as, you know, something that's noble, right? So sometimes you save the fella life, you actually screw up everything, right? Again, please, if you get yourself involved in something that you're not supposed to involve in, there's a very big karmic thingy that's supposed to pay back, you know, and all these three fella, like back to the particular example, it's because of the loss of the child, you know, the mother right now feel the pain, repent herself, you know, she managed to right now help a lot of other mother that lost a child to come in term with the loss. This is where all her merit come from, to pay back the whatever that she have done. Same thing also, you know, the guy who accidentally backed the car into the kids feel very guilty of the entire situation. So he spent his time in the awareness of, you know, car, and actually invented certain things that help the car to detect the things behind the car, so that, you know, you don't bloody hell ram onto the things behind the car. So now you go in, right? This particular mother didn't get to support, the rest of the mother is all in suffering, and this particular guy didn't manage to invent, you know, then more and more people get crushed by car. So how? All this particular thing that's supposed to happen in a good manner, you step in to prevent it from happening, or you bear the cost. Don't get scared. So don't get too enthusiastic, right? So good example. Right, so please do not get too enthusiastic with, you know, I know this particular skill called Qi already, you know, I can see everything. The moment you can see everything, I tell you, the moment you get cursed. It's not good to see everything. It's not good, right? So because there are certain things that you see already, you cannot process. You don't have the capacity to process it. So before you actually have the capacity to process it, best don't see, okay? But things and society change, go through improvement because of forces, things happen and usually push the society. Yes, correct. So that's why certain things need to happen. Certain shit need to happen. Unfortunately, especially in Malaysia. Unfortunately, in Malaysia, not enough people dying. We don't do anything, man. Shit. Bad. Malaysia bad. Right? Yeah. What to do? Okay. Yeah, correct. Right? So no certain amount of people. So again, you don't need to feel sad about people who you cause sacrifice themselves to teach a lesson, you know, much like Jesus. Jesus sacrificed himself for the rest of the people. You guys know the story, right? Okay, right? So same certain people, you know. So again, when the fella end already, right, it's basically the universal system saying that his job is done. Don't feel sad, you know, somebody leaving, it's basically his universal job is done. So that's why, you know, you get ejected. You get ejected, go to the ready room, do your briefing. See, now this happened, remember last time you do this, so all this get reconciled in the ready room. Then after that, they wipe your memory, they send you back out for the next mission. Come back, all the memory that you have would actually be reinserted into you. Then, you know, you go through a briefing. So this entire process, go through again and again until you are completely, you want to say completely installed or completely built. Then, you know, I don't know what happened after that, you know, no chance yet. Okay, so don't ask me. But this is the entire process of the reincarnation. So that's why also, you know, in reincarnation in the Buddhism, they ask you don't kill a living thing. Because why? You damn kill the living thing, right? That could be your right leg. Hello? You would have destroyed your own right leg. Understand or not? The next round, you probably is supposed to be installed into this particular creature that you have killed. Children, you know, it's supposed to be a cat. So you kill this cat, the cat didn't give birth to the other cat. Your right is gone. Congratulations. You just screw yourself up. Understand or not? Just, that's why they said don't take life. Simple stuff, because why? You know, you're gonna reincarnate into, you know, one of these, right? So don't kill a person. You know, you might reincarnate into this particular person grandchild, you know. And you kill this person, no grandchild, no reincarnation into this, and don't know what happened. The entire system go jam, you know. Right, so if using Qi, right, you can expect some someone will die within a day. When you tell them, right, some would think that you are cursing them. It's actually happened. So now again, if the fella don't ask, you don't tell. It's very simple. You see, depend on the particular person want to ask or not. If the person is asking, you know, the fella already know, right? So I got some client who directly will ask. So if the fella asks, I've seen, all the sign basically is correct. I straight away tell you, got time around this much. Go and do whatever is necessary to do. It is actually liberating, to them. Now again, don't force the situation. That's it. You don't see it straight away. Don't do that. The fella is ready. The fella will ask, man. Right? Right, so like some say, oh no, staunch Christian, don't believe in feng shui. I got so many Christian clients. So why? They come ask, I tell. No, if you tell me that, oh no, I'm Christian believer, okay, then you go off. That's it. Finish. Right? So no, I don't chase after people and explaining this thing. Don't. Right? Ngam channel the sweet. Right? So very true, right? It's always we should bear in our minds, right? So yeah. Xin Yan, Chinese, cannot read. Guys, anything more than 10 stroke you post in, I can't read. My Chinese database is 10 stroke and below. So unless I got ChatGPT in front of me and translator, then I can translate. But anyway, right? So this is today's topic for you all. Cause and effect, have some. Right? So that's why a lot of things, you can rightly judge, whether it's because certain things happen that you see this, or because you do this, certain thing will happen, right? Hao Zi you can read. Yes, Hao Zi of course can read lah, right? It's like forgiving someone. We can't forgive him if he's not aware about it and don't ask for it. It's correct. Same thing also, right? So same thing also, right? So now again, the idea of forgiving somebody is actually not because of that person, it's actually because of you. You want to forgive someone is that you want to let go of yourself. But at least that is from the Buddhism perspective. Right? So you want to forgive. So it's actually very easy, just forgive everyone. You just tell the fella has a role to play. It probably is, the probably is the fella is actually come in to teach you this lesson. That's why the fella is causing you this pain for you to learn this lesson. Right? So, you need to go and thank this particular person is that, thank you for teaching me the valuable lesson of betrayal. Or else, you won't have the awareness of betrayal. Right? So same thing, understand? Correct? Right? So today sharing for you, right? So please, if you see anything, you will implement anything, sit down and think of cause and effect first. Is it this that causes this, or is it that causes this? Right? So if you don't get this confused and your intent is congruent, right? You don't choose those method which is bad. Now method very easy. I just tell you method whether good or bad. I think you can judge, right? It's very, very physical, very again, right? So like for example, Qimeng. So Qimeng, you guys know that got bad way of doing things, good way of doing things. Ba Zi also got bad way of doing things, good way of doing things. Feng Shui also got bad way of doing things, good way of doing things. So the method wise is that you know that you choose those as good lah. Correct or not? Then the effect, do not force the effect. That's all. Let the effect go as it should. So you give advice, the fella listen or don't listen, don't implement, none of your business. You done your part. Right? You want to earn money, you tell people you want to earn money. Nothing ashamed of it. Everybody earn money. So no, I always say, you go to the office for what? A lot of people say, you go to work, it's not all about money. If I stop your salary tomorrow, will you come to work? Straight to you. If I stop your salary tomorrow, will you still come to work? Straight away won't lah. If I stop anything else, right, you will still go to work one. They'll tell you, if I stop your annual leave, you go to work, you still come to work until you find another job better annual leave. But if I stop your salary tomorrow, tell you there's not going to be any salary that's going to be paid no matter what you do in this particular organization, but you can still continue to come and work. There will be experience, there will be growth, there will be support, there will be a group of people who will lift you up, but there will be no salary. Zero. Will you still work with the organization? Now see, your intent is the salary. Right? No shame. Don't be shame. You go to work, it's because you want the salary. Don't be ashamed of it. Right? Don't try to go sneak here, sneak there. Right? Don't be like that. Same thing, you start a business. Right? So like, again, give you an example. Do you think charity organization, the intent is to do charity? Most of them tell you no. Most of them, the intent is to run away from taxation, because charity organization usually tax-free. Right? So if you go through a process whereby, you know, all charity organization is to pay tax like normal, you would see charity organization disappearing overnight. Overnight, it will disappear, because why? The tax-free shield just got removed. Right? Yeah, never know, right? So no, please, you know, so those billionaires that say that, you know, oh no, I got this charity fund. Hello, wake up. Done, right? So some charity organization charge a very high operation rate. Yeah, right. So okay, guys, that's it. You know, today is the philosophical day. See you guys. Bye.